Thank you, Charlie, and thank you to our award-winning choir. What a beautiful version of I'll Stand By You. It is now time to introduce the student with the highest grade point average in this year's senior class. This year's valedictorian is the son of Chow Din and Ngoc Dung Du. He too was a member of National Honor Society and an advanced placement scholar. He earned 15 hours of college credit his junior year through the advanced placement program at South, with an additional 24 hours of credit awaiting confirmation from this year's testing. That amounts to 41 hours of college credit as he begins his post-secondary studies at Texas Christian University, where he has earned a full scholarship. He plans to major in biology with an emphasis on pre-med studies, and he is graduating with an overall GPA of 4.629. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the valedictorian for the class of 2015, Mr. Viet Dinh.
Good morning, distinguished parents and guests, esteemed faculty and staff, and last but not least, fellow graduates of the class of 2015. It's an incredible honor to stand up here today to welcome you all to our graduation ceremony. A few weeks ago, when Ms. Boyle, the Dean of Instruction, told me that I was to write a speech to present it on graduation day, I tried doing what I do best, talking myself out of it. Well, as you can see, that didn't really work out. So I did the next best thing, and I went to my counselor, Ms. Molina, and I tried to get her to get me out of it. Ms. Molina, so we're here today, she could not get me out of it. So I went to the one thing that helped me most in my entire high school career: Google. Unfortunately, all I found was a WikiHow that really wasn't any help, and a template off of freegraduationspeeches.com that ironically only allows you to use it if you pay a membership fee. So I was left to write the speech alone. But all jokes aside, this really is a privilege, and I'm very honored to be here today. What I did find useful in my various attempts at finding the easy way out of doing a speech and watching hundreds of graduation videos on YouTube was that I found it's normal for graduation speeches to contain anecdotes that summarizes our experiences here in high school. And surprisingly enough, I would have to say that my greatest inspiration was from my government professor when I took dual credit classes in Mountain View last summer. It was a hot summer morning as I sat in his classroom with a snoring 20-year-old next to me, and my professor was giving a lecture about whatever happened to pop in his mind at the moment. And somewhere between his theory of why 9 divided by 9 does not equal 1, and his story of how his Navajo grandmother used to smuggle whiskey across the country, he said something that struck me as bizarre yet interesting. That the number that describes human most is the fraction 2/7. 2/7, he said, strange as it might sound, has come to define who we are as teenagers and as adults. As humans, our brains are wired to strive for short-term goals that provide immediate rewards. We usually have to have something to look forward to get us through the days and through the week. And oftentimes that something we look forward to is the weekend. I'm sure many people here can relate. Whether we're we're teenagers in high school, young adults in college, or adults in jobs, we push ourselves through the week in order to get to our immediate reward, the weekend. And in that way, we have slowly become 2/7 people, only truly alive 2 days out of the 7 inside a week. Yes, we're physically alive. Blood courses through our veins and oxygen flows through our lungs. We still eat, drink, and breathe like we do on the weekends, but it's not the same. We are not the same. Are we, on those 5 days, are we living or are we on autopilot? I'm a victim of this myself, being a more active person on the weekends than I am in school. But things can be different. And if we become alive on those 5 weekdays, just like we do on the weekends, we can become 7/7 people. And in doing so, make life more interesting and meaningful. In our 4 years of high school, what freed our lives from monotony and what made them burst with color was us living in the moment and making moments count by enjoying each other's company, forming bonds and connections, and sharing stories, joy, and memories. From big occasions like getting an A on the exam to the small ones, like watching the sunset as we wait for a school bus to pick us up from a tennis game. From getting accepted to college, to the AP Lit class getting so engaged in reading lines from Hamlet that we cheer when Claudius died. Spoiler alert. From the celebrations we shared as we made it through the AP exams, to when the teacher caught us pulling pranks inside the chemistry supply room. Don't ask what we were doing, we're teenage guys, and anything on fire amuses us. But my point is, in all those moments, we were being 7/7s. And it's moments like those that we must strive for in the future as well. And another part about being 7/7s is about confronting the natural human fear of failure. As Jim Carrey once said, you can live your whole life imagining ghosts and worrying about the future, but all there will ever be is what's right now and what's right here. And all the decisions we make in the moment are based on either love or fear. So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality, and what we really want seems too far impossible and too ridiculous to expect in reality. In our world today, failure is something associated with the bottom rung, the dead last, the rejects, the losers. Our goals and dreams are sometimes so impossible that our fear of failure makes us afraid to strive for it. And oftentimes we're so focused on the image of success that we forget about the process that comes before it. Just take a look at our school. We see the tennis team bring home trophies, but we never stop to think about all the missed balls, the overshots, and lost matches during practices. We hear SGP band and choir sweepstakes-worthy performances, but we never stop to remember their hours upon hours of intense practices to correct every wrong note and every bad rhythm. We all stay up here today, ready to graduate, but we've all had our own share of all-nighters, finishing up that one paper, streaming through Wikipedia, Spark Notes, and Wolfram Alpha, and studying all night long for that huge test only to receive a failing grade. Failure in life is inevitable. It's going to happen no matter what, and if you live your life so carefully that you don't fail once, you might as well have never lived at all. Our human fear of failure can make us fail. Our need for acceptance can make us invisible. It's only when we don't let anything stand in the way of the light that shines within us, and we risk being seen in all our glory, that we may achieve our goals and our dreams. And as we soon walk across the stage, this part of our lives, this little part, is called success. There are times when our goals seem impossible, and we're afraid to strive for it. But look at us now. We are the proof that we can strive for it. We are the proof that we do not have to be afraid. We are the proof that we can be 7/7s. Everyone, please give yourselves a hand. Now, before I end the speech, I'd like to take a moment to thank those who have supported us all this way. First of all, I'd like to thank God for giving me such a good and fulfilling life, and for helping me every step of the way. To all the teachers, counselors, and staff of SGP, thank you for all you've done to help us. I know we make you all crazy sometimes, and there are some who we love to hate, and others we love to be loved by. But you've all done an amazing job of putting up with us, teaching us valuable lessons, supporting us when we needed it, and most importantly, writing our recommendation letters. And last but definitely not least, a very special thank you to all the families here today, and all the families who could not make it. Thank you for caring for us and nurturing us and loving us back when we hated you. Thank you for always staying with us in good times and in bad. Thank you for believing in us. As we look around here today at all the people who made us who we are, I know it feels like we're saying goodbye. But we will carry a piece of each other into everything we do next to remind us of who we are and who we're meant to be. There are 613 seniors graduating in the class of 2015 today. Parents and guests, I'd like to ask you on behalf of my fellow graduates to please, as we walk across the stage today, please cheer us on and believe in us. We've all come a long way and we have a longer way still. And to my fellow graduates, congratulations from the bottom of my heart. Here's to you, class of 2015. Here's to you, to the moments that become memories, to the friends that become family, and to the dreams that become reality. And never forget, warriors, always be 7/7. Thank you.
Well, for a young man that didn't want to deliver a speech, I think that was fabulous. Thank you, Viet.